Our July weather is hot, hot, hot this year. With hot weather comes wildfires. Our valley is surrounded and there's tons of smoke in the air. This just means that our summer garden chores need to happen earlier each day. And this helps us to not only stay cool, but avoid some of the smoke that tends to settle on later in the day. We also need to make sure that all of our gardens are nice and watered. This is to keep our plants happy and thriving, but also to ensure that we have a harvest this fall. From our trees, to our flowers, to the giant pumpkin patch, everyone is getting a nice watering today, including Daisy. This year's pumpkin patch has more than 25 varieties of pumpkins, and it's taking a ton of work to keep it weeded and watered, but we are managing. We did add a new watering system that we'll show in a later video that's really helped out. We have 3 zones and we can come in and water each zone individually. But our goal today is to head up to our main garden and cut down some of our greens before they start to bolt. We love having fresh greens for salads and sandwiches, but once they bolt, they start to taste bitter and aren't good to eat. Greens tend to bolt in hot weather, and since we've been in over 100-degree weather for the last week or so, they are wanting to bolt and go to seed. And the weather doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. We're cutting cilantro and several varieties of lettuce today, along with a little bit of spinach that we can add to our refrigerator and sell in our farm stand for those locally who are interested. One plus side of the hot weather, the wildflower patch has taken off. A couple times a week, we've gone out to weed, water, and pick new flowers to add to vases in our home. This brings a little bit of color and summer freshness back into our home, especially when it's too hot to go outside. We also tend to check on our chickens more regularly during this hot weather to make sure that they have enough water, food, and cool shade to keep them happy. Normally, we head out in the morning to feed and water, and then we collect the eggs in the evening. But these days, we are checking on them 3 or 4 times a day. And sometimes they even get some special treats to help them cool down. A couple days ago, we trimmed back some of our herbs before they bolted. We got them in the dehydrator overnight, and this morning they are ready to be bagged up. This year we planted rosemary, thyme, and oregano to add to our pantry. These are herb staples that we use a lot during the winter months. It's great to have fresh herbs during the summer and into the fall, but we love to have herbs to add to our crock pot, soups, and stews, and fresh herbs aren't always readily available in the winter months. But these nice dehydrated herbs will go into containers once we have enough to really start using in our cooking. Once those herbs are bagged, it is time to get those greens ready for storage. I like to clean out my sink really well to make sure that there's no debris or bacteria that might be left behind by things in the sink. Then I'll place those greens into a large tub of cold water. This helps me to be able to pull out any weeds or grass that might have stuck onto the lettuce or spinach or cilantro. We'll put all those greens into the salad spinner and give it a good spin. This helps to pull out any extra water that might cause those greens to wilt or mold. This salad spinner has worked really nicely and really does pull out a lot of water. If you're interested, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can go grab yourself one. Then I bag the greens up and place a paper towel into that bag. I found that the towel helps to absorb any of the extra moisture that maybe didn't come off in the salad spinner. And then I can get these greens to last in my fridge for a couple of weeks. That is, if we don't eat them first, which we typically do. Since I also collected cilantro today, I washed and dried it similarly to the greens in cold water, and then I put it in a salad spinner. I'll collect this cilantro into bunches and place it into cold water and put in our refrigerator, and it can last for up to a week. Now our fridge has fresh greens that we can use for the next week for salads, sandwiches, and even some yummy tacos. Thanks for following along on this hot July day. Stay cool out there, and don't forget to follow A Frugal Homestead for your homesteading life and gardening tips. You can always check out more on our YouTube channel or at afrugalhomestead.com.